Tell me whenever you're ready.
I'm ready.
Far below the ocean waves, a narwhal lay in bed. All night long his narwhal dreams kept swimming in his head. He dreamt of swimming up to see the sky above, lit up by the sun and colors he just knew he'd love. But narwhal never swam that high. Their fins were much too small. Their tails were thin and floppy, which didn't help at all. This narwhal liked his fins, and he had no problem with his tail. So when he woke, he knew that he just wouldn't fail. I'm swimming up above the waves to see the sky of blue. I've never seen it even once, and now it's time I do. The other narwhals warned him that he shouldn't swim so high, as did the blyfish family that always swam close by. No narwhals ever swum that high. It simply isn't done. A blyfish might just make the trip, but we know you're not one. Narwhals don't have flappers like us blyfish do. You don't even have coggers like the swimming gungaloo. But the narwhal didn't listen, and he left his friends behind. No silly blyfish family could ever change his mind. He swam up past the boulders, made of spongy gishy gosh, and flew right up by the herd of floating, feeding fipple fosh. His fins were getting tired. He knew he couldn't stop, so he kept swimming faster, trying hard to reach the top. Just then a hungry Workle blocked the narwhal with his fin. He grabbed him by his tail and brought him right up to his chin. I've never had a narwhal. This would be a tasty treat. But you're much too thin and bony for a fish like me to eat. So narwhal just kept swimming and didn't dare to stop until he heard the sound of a great big bubble pop. He turned around to see that that he was in a bit of trouble. The sound he heard was that of a silver subbubble. The narwhal tried to hide somewhere that he could safely stay, but the subbubble saw him and was headed right his way. Oh, Mr. Subbubble, please don't eat me up for lunch. I'll bring you a yummy plant instead for you to sit and munch. I've never seen a narwhal try to swim this high before. What is it, little fishy, that you're up here looking for? If I could see the sky just once, I'd be a happy fish. To do one fip above the waves would be my only wish. Well, sorry, narwhal, silly narwhal, but I cannot let you go. It's Subbubble dinner time. You should have stayed below. The narwhal cowered back in fear and shook his fin from fin to fin. But then he saw a school of fish called Shiny Glimmy Glen. The Glimmy Glim swam right past the Subbubble's face, and the narwhal grabbed a glimmy fin and quickly left that place. The narwhal swam up higher still until he saw some light. He knew it had to be the sun, and oh, it was a sight. Closely by, a plink was sleeping, lying on his back. He rubbed his giant belly and dreamt about a snack. The narwhal smiled happily and set his fin a-swimming. He didn't see the plink wake up, for he was busy grinning. The narwhal almost made it to the surface of the sea, but the plink chopped down and swallowed him as if he were a pea. The narwhal sat inside the plink and started softly crying. He'd never make it out, so there wasn't any point in trying. The narwhal knew he'd come too close to quit and give up now. There must be a way out of here. There's got to be somehow. So the narwhal swam around inside, trying very hard to think, and while he did, his floppy tail was tickling the plink. The plink was very ticklish, and he couldn't hold it in. He tried to cover up his laugh with a giant pinkish fin. Plinkfish fin. His mouth was open long enough for the narwhal to swim free. He swam so fast the hungry plink did not have time to see. Far above the ocean floor, above the narbles' homes, above the blyfish families and dancing water gnomes, above the swimming gungaloo and slimy dundle-dun. A narble flipped above the waves and smiled at the sun. The end.